Yeah, happy Friday.
Hey.
We are back. We are back with an exciting story today for somebody who I met on Facebook. And Mr. Peter from Kenya is joining us today, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his journey to America, his coming to America story. But before you do, I'm going to read to the viewers what attracted me to your story. And thank you for giving me the permission to do that.
Oh, by all means, yeah, by all means.
And because what this story to me it made me appreciate that there are still good people here, and there's always someone. I think we always have an angel somewhere, and we just have to sometimes just stop and pay attention and listen.
Oh, yeah.
Right. All
Definitely,
right,
yes,
so
definitely.
this is the love letter that Mr. Peter here wrote to his American mom. I met this amazing woman, Shirley Garner, 29 years ago in Kenya. She told me that if I ever made it to stateside, she'd be there for me, and she kept that promise in every possible way. From the moment I arrived in the US, she accepted me as her son. She opened her home to me and to many others, giving us a place to belong when we had nowhere else to go. As an international student, scholarships don't cover winter or Christmas breaks, and traveling home in December and again in May is incredibly expensive, often impossible. But because of her, I always had a home. She showed up for me in ways I'll never forget. She came to my GUCO games in Texas. You will tell us what those are. Supported me during my time at ACU, and once even drove all the way from Abilene to Kingsville for a game, only to find out that the time had changed and it was already over. Every Christmas, she made sure I had a phone card to call home. And when she worked out of town during the holidays, she took me with her, making sure somehow there was always a basketball court nearby. Over the years, she's been there for the birth of my kids, celebrated my graduation, my Hall of Fame induction. I want to know more about that. And my wife's graduation. Through it all, she has loved and accepted me exactly as I am. She even came to pick me up from the sheriff's office once. Story for another day. I want to know. I'm nosy like that. Coming to the
She's going through
US
some
was
things, yeah.
tough. Coming to the US was tough, and I truly don't know how things would have turned out without her in my corner. So today, I just want to say thank you, Mama. Thank you to you and your whole family for accepting me, my family, and so many others. Your love changed my life. So, Peter, as you're telling us your story, I kind of want to hear what impact this had on you, and what it did to make you who you are today. And I'm sure that, I always say this all the time: we are products of our environments. But that, and your life back home and your journey, and just tell us a little bit about how you ended up to who you are today.
So, you get an opportunity, and everybody, you hear everybody saying how lucky you are, how blessed you are, and I'm not saying that to make it sound as I was not lucky. I get that, but I think what a lot of people don't understand, that the trials and tribulations don't start until you get here.
Mm,
There's a lot of things you think you're going to the US, and everybody's like, man, Bahatika, he's lucky,
uh-huh. Money will
but
be growing in trees.
money, yeah. I'm coming back. I'm talking about like 1996. There's no phones, there's no internet is just coming out. So I'm on a one-way ticket, by the way. It's a one-way ticket. So there's no plan B, there's no plan
Mhm.
C. There's this thing gotta work out. I don't even know where I'm going. It's not like now you can get online, Google, how is Texas, whatever. And so and I'm told when you get off the plane, there'll be a white guy waiting for you, the coach. This coach is gonna be there with a sign with your name.
So you came here to play
Yeah, I came
basketball?
on a basketball scholarship. Yes,
Oh,
Okay, nice.
okay.
yes,
So how
yes.
did you get that scholarship, if you don't mind my asking?
Man, it's a long story. You have time?
It's just about 40 minutes.
So, but my story is kind of interesting a little bit. I've always been I've always worked hard, and they always say the harder you work, the luckier you become,
Mm,
right?
I like that.
Because again, opportunity means preparation, right? So I've
yes.
always been prepared, and then you get the moment, and then you shine in that moment, and then things work out for you. So I've always been prepared. I've always worked hard at anything I did. Anything I do, I'd give it 100%, right? So back in maybe I was still in just coming out of high school, maybe 92. I want to say it's 92. So there was a movie called The Air Up There. I don't know if you guys know the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they were doing auditions for the movie for the characters in Kenya. So
Oh,
the
they
audition
were?
was done in, yes, Konga Bandu is one of the guys who was doing the auditions. My other life was I knew how to dance traditional dance and all that drama. That's what I did in high school. I was
Oh.
in
Ah.
Isili, I was in Isili Boys, So
Oh.
yes, so I did a lot of that in high school. I did a lot of extracurricular activities, when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my background. So I know some of the guys in the field. I know they are Siba Sibas, Whispers, Wahome Mutahi. I knew them. Jimmy Gad. We knew them when they were just Jimmy. Now he has two names, right? So
Those are some of the celebrities back home. He's
yes,
name
but
dropping
yes,
right about now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I used to be in the National Theater. So, but I happened to also play basketball, and one of my guys was like, "Why don't you play basketball?" I was like, "Well, I don't know. We'll try it and see." So I was dabbling basketball sometimes. Sometimes I'll be at the National Theater, back and forth, just trying to find my niche. When you finish high
Hmm.
school,
Yeah.
you really don't know what you're gonna do or what the plan is. You just really try to make it. So there was an audition for the movie The Air Up There, and I was playing for a basketball team from Mombasa. I come in and they're shooting this audition, but I was from out of town, so we were not in the know-how of what was going on because I came from Mombasa that time. And so there's an audition in Nyayo, and so I get in, and there's a dunking, people are dunking and all that, and the people are like, "Come on, Peter, just participate." So I just participated in it. So they shot the auditions and then send them to someone in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
So when they
What?
send that, yes, when they sent that, there was a guy called Charles Minor. He was from Jamhuri High School, so he got the part. But for whatever reason, they said Peter can accompany him too. So I
Mm,
came plus one.
What?
mm.
So I came, yes, yes.
What's
So
up?
I came, yes. Back in 90, I came plus one to the U.S. with him.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so we came and we did the auditions for the movie, but you know he was more like on the character. He was more like in tune. He had
Mm,
the swag. He fit the profile perfectly. And he was very skilled also in basketball, so he did fit. So he ends up taking the part, and he's the one who does it. So anyways, we know we go to the US in the Las Vegas, California. We go to different schools. They're trying to help us get into schools here because they're like, man, you guys can play.
mm,
So they're trying to help us get in schools, but unfortunately, it's during the summer. The coaches are not
Mm.
there. But
mm,
we end up going back home.
mm.
And then I end up going back home, and everybody's like, man, you should have stayed, whatever. But I was
Right.
like, man, why would you come back? But I was like, I think I've always wanted to do things on my terms.
Mm,
Mm.
I've always wanted to do things like the way I see things in my head. It might not
Mm.
be I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm just saying I've always wanted to do things the way I see them.
mm,
Man, my time will come.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, fast forward like 5 years later, you know, the story's there, and people have seen the movie, so there's curiosity in basketball. So, I'm still in Mombasa, and this guy, he comes with another coach. I know the coach because Coach Cliff. I know Coach Cliff, but I don't know the white guy. White guy is a big dude. He's like 6'5". His name is Coach Tony Morley. So they come to my house in Kisauni in Mombasa,
mm,
and his story is, if you play for my team in Nairobi, his team is KCITI, Kenya
Ah.
Christian Industrial Training Institute in Sili. He's
Mm.
like, if you play for my team for 6 months, at the end of 6 months, I'll take you you get an opportunity to play in the US. So it's one of those things like, what do you want from me? Why is it me? You start questioning yourself of all the people, why did you see me? But anyways, in the same neighborhood, there's another guy called James. We used to call him Cartwright. They also talk to him.
Mm.
And we connect later during the day, and I tell him, if you go, I go.
Patiana nguvu.
Yeah, because it was one of those things, you only hear, things
Yeah.
like this they
Mhm.
don't come often. Someone
That's
just
what I'm
wants to help
sitting
you.
here thinking.
Yeah,
Like a movie.
Wow. It's like a
yes, like
movie.
someone just want to help you for the good of their heart,
Yeah.
because I'm already playing basketball. So for me, playing for his team is not it's not a hard task. I'm
Mhm.
already doing that for, KPA. So he's saying I can play for his team. I can do the same thing, but after 6 months, I go to the US. That's you're like, come on, like, what's the catch here? You're trying to figure
Mhm.
out what the catch, but the guy is
Mhm.
a missionary. He still does mission, great work in Kenya, even up to now. He's built a school in Keserian. He does a great work out there. So he worked in Madare for in the slums. He's given kids hope and all that. So he's done a great job. He always does. But anyway, so I tell the guy, if you go, I go. But his mom knows me. So when he tells his mom that I'm also offered the opportunity, he said, you have to go. His mom, all he had was, it was Christian school.
Can
Mhm.
teach I was going.
And yes, and so his mom is like, you going. So again, I told him, I told him I was going to go if he went. So he's, cut the long story short, I go to Nairobi. We play 6 months down the lane. I everything is ready. My family scrounges for my brother-in-law had some money. He gives me a one-way ticket. So boom, I leave Kenya, and I'm told when you get off the plane, it's gonna be a white man waiting for you.
Wow.
That is
you,
interesting.
you,
I
you
know.
travel to, you travel 24 hours. You don't
Yeah.
know the
How
foods.
old
You
are you
don't
at
know.
this time?
I'm like 21, 22, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
You know that oh
yeah,
we always say, man, at that age, yeah, we are
yeah.
like
You
elastic. We
live
just
precariously.
go with the flow.
You go with
Mhm.
the flow. There's no too many. But unfortunately for me, I had a daughter at that time, so it was a bit tougher
That's
for me
good.
because
Mm,
I had a daughter. She was like two, so it was
yeah.
tougher because now I'm living them, and but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
again, the journey has been great for me because again, things I've done along the way have enabled me to do, you know, not make it right, but
Yeah.
present opportunities for her now. So
Mm,
Mhm.
um, you leave and you don't know the foods, you have no pocket money, you don't have dollars, you don't have anything. It's one of those scenarios, here you go, So I come on a one-way ticket. So
Mhm.
for me, there's no plan B, C. This is it. But when I was at KCITI, that's when I met the lady. She had come to do
Mhm.
mission work in Kenya, and
mm,
we
Okay.
did crowd control because she was a nurse, so she did. They came on a mission, and we saw initially we used to write people's names on this little paper, their name, age, weight, like a
mm,
check-in in a hospital clinic setting, and you
Yeah.
give the paper to the person, and the person goes to different station, their vitals are taken,
yeah.
Mhm.
they go to the next station, and so they used to do missions to treat people. So, but she's told Peter is going to come. Peter and James are coming to the US sometime. And that's why she was like, if you ever come to the US, but like a lot of people have told me that,
Yeah.
if you, even in Kenya, people are, oh, if you can Nairobi, let's
Yeah.
link up, let's link up,
Yeah.
we'll do
Yeah.
something.
You
You
call
get there
them.
and it's like,
They get
you
that as
call them, they're
differently.
like, they're going to get picked up.
They're like, oh, you
Well,
actually here. I was just
yeah,
I was just saying.
so, yeah, so you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So, I come over, I get to the airport, I get off the plane. Actually, there's a funny story because I took my kids to meet the coach who picked me up at the airport because
Mhm.
the coach was told there's this guy coming from Kenya. So imagine you're a coach in the US. What do you think about? You think about this big guy, right? This big guy, you know, very huge, imposing figure. Back like if you think about the players from Africa
Yes.
who are playing basketball, they're not little people. They're big guys. The
Mhm.
Dikembes, the Akeem Olajuwon, the Bamuta. Those are big guys. So,
Mhm.
but anyways, I weigh like 170, man. I was like 170. I'm skinny, scrawny kid, and
He's already tall kid.
yeah, he looks at me and you could tell he was a bit disappointed. He was like, I think they tricked me on this one. But
Oh, boy.
what he says gave him some hope was I was on a flight for 24 hours. There was another kid who was picked up from a flight from California to Texas. So I land in Dallas. We drive like maybe Dallas to Abilene in like 4 hours. So, but we get to Abilene and there's a basketball court and people are playing basketball. I'm like, Coach, can I play? You know, and the other guy said he had jet lag and he had only traveled for 3 hours. I had been on a flight for the whole night, not eating, because even like coach asked me, "Do you want to eat?" I said no, because I really didn't know the food, so I wasn't about to say yes because I didn't
Yeah.
know what the food was.
Yeah.
So so I go there and I play. I'm terrible. I don't understand the game as much. So, but I'm athletic. I'm naturally gifted, hardworking guy. So coach coach was like, okay, I see something. At least he got the drive to get
Yeah.
better. So at least coach, and that's the story of how the connection is between Charlie and myself. Because Charlie lived in Abilene. And I went through Abilene, but I went to a little town called Boga, Texas, in the Panhandle. Cold, really cold down there. So again, I get down there. There's a Kenyan there too, so you gotta understand my story too. I've had just this ridiculous amount of God blessings. Like along my journey, I've always, no matter how hard the journey was, there was someone I could look out and say, if they made it, I can make it.
Yeah.
You're like, he's been here 1 year. I think I can make it too. You know, it is. But I'm the way I traveled light. I didn't have jackets. When you live in Kenya, everybody's like, let me hold that T-shirt, let me hold that, let me hold that. So I didn't have a lot of clothes. So I get to school and it's cold. And there's this lady again, some mother, she knows the guy. She's done that for international students. She's like, tell him to go, I can buy him a jacket. And some of those jackets were like $150, $200. And she doesn't even know me.
Oh wow.
So she bought me a jacket, Miami Dolphins. I don't know why I like Miami then, but I had a Miami Dolphins jacket. But
Wow.
yeah, so that's how I get to the States. Yeah, that's my story of how I get to
That's
the
so
US.
interesting. My
And that's
goodness.
how my journey here begins. Yes.
So you arrive and you still have the number of that lady, your American mom?
No, I don't even have the number.
Oh,
That's
so
the
how did you
craziest
find
thing.
her?
I don't have the number. So I get here like August 26. I don't even remember the day. I get here like August 26. So I start going to school, I'm playing basketball. So December holidays come around. Again, that's what I'm telling you. It's a scholarship it doesn't cover December winter break. So you gotta figure out where you're gonna go. So the lady calls my coach and says, I'm on my way with James, because James came in September.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's managed to find James
Wow.
Cartwright. She's found him because he played in Abo Christian, and she's from Abilene. So she's found James, and now they're coming with James to pick me up. And the coach tells me, I'm like, how did she find James? Because I'm here. We haven't even spoken with James. I haven't,
Yeah.
because I didn't have a phone. I did not, we didn't have any of that. So,
Wow.
And they come pick me up. And that's how we end up linking up with that lady again. And that's how we end up staying at her house.
It
Yeah.
was meant to be.
Yeah, and she
Oh, yeah,
meant it
yeah,
when she said she'll watch out for you
Mhm.
guys.
Mhm.
man. She's not just watched over me. She's watched over my family.
Mm.
She knows my mom. My mom's passed, but she knew my mom when she went to Kenya. My mom would always go say thank you, even though my mom didn't speak English. She would just show appreciation. She knows my sister. She knows all my family back home. So
Wow.
she's someone. Yeah, even her sons. Like I respect her sons a lot.
Mm.
She really did go above and beyond for us because even though I think the sons one day I said, well, how did you guys feel? Like, man, this guy's coming from Kenya and
Mm.
we're driving her car, many years later, now we know how to drive, and now we are driving her car, we stay in her house, we have the keys to her house, like, we come and go
Wow.
from her house.
It was
Oh
that
yeah.
comfortable?
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. She
Mm.
man, she was at my child's birth. My last
Mm.
born, I had a basketball game in Dallas. And
Oh,
so she was like, Peter, I'll go and stay with your wife in the hospital.
Oh.
an
Yeah,
angel.
she was the one who was sending me pictures of my son when he just got born, because I'd
Oh,
go. So
Wow.
when I was in the tournament, I would come during the night. I would drive back from Dallas. I would do basketball during the day and drive back at home, and I would leave her from the hospital, and she would go home, and I'll sleep in the hospital with my wife, and then in the morning she would come, and I would go back.
Oh,
oh.
So
wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's family right there. Wow.
Oh man, yeah, we don't call her mama for nothing. It's not
Yeah.
Wow. That's
it's not
amazing.
one of those mamas. It's mama for
Mm.
real.
She's a
Like
true mom. Yeah.
she's a true mom. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
That is
yes.
amazing. So when you
Oh
were
yeah,
here playing basketball, were you also going to school at the same time?
man. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I came here. I went to school, and I was one of those people. I was like, I'm a graduate. I'm gonna go back home. I'll go Jenga Taifa. I'm gonna go home, make the
And build.
country better.
20-something years later.
No, 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 no. Hey, I packed my family and went home. I tried it.
Oh, you
I'm not saying
did?
some. Oh yes, I
Oh,
graduated and went back home.
really?
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
no.
okay.
Yes.
So tell us what you studied and tell us about going back and what that was like.
So
You're
when I
exciting Mercy now. She wants to know this part. We haven't had many who have, nobody actually who has tried, eh?
I was one of those guys. Like, so I played for the national team. I've always been very patriotic of even when I played overseas basketball. I've always been very proud that I'm Kenyan, and I was always like people to understand that I'm Kenyan.
Mm.
Understand that.
Mm.
I'm here, but I'm also Kenyan. Like, so I've always wanted. And then I remember where I've come from, and I see a lot of kids back home who just look like me. Maybe they're given the opportunity, they'll be excel. So
Mm.
I've always wanted to do stuff back home. The driver wanted to be home, and even the coach who brought me, the only thing he asked of me was, when you graduate, I want you to reach out and help one more person.
Mm.
That was his ask.
Pass it
Come
forward.
home, come
Mm.
home, make Kenya a better place for someone else. That
Mm.
was his ask. It sounds very cliche when someone tells you that. You hear that all the time. But
Mm.
he was truly one of those guys who put that in my head, because
Mm.
I was like, if he can help me, why? He's not even Kenyan.
Kenyan, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would I, who am Kenyan, not help another Kenyan? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Mm.
it still plays with my mind sometimes when I think about situations.
Mm.
So I went to school. I studied electronic media. I used to work in a TV station, and I've shot video. I used to work the news and all that. My background
Oh,
is yes, my background is electronic media. I
Mm.
did, I did web design. This is when Dreamweaver were coming out.
mhm.
Mm.
This is back. Everything was new. The web was, so that I felt that would be good, and I felt if I knew that, and I went back home, I would have an advantage in the field, right? So, anyways, I've always wanted. So, when I graduated, when I'm playing my last 2 years in college, I'm also playing overseas in South America. So I'm playing
No.
like one, because again, I'm going to school one semester and playing one semester.
Mm.
That
Wow.
so I'm playing overseas, coming back, playing overseas, coming back. And even people are like, when you leave, how are you gonna come back? I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna just pray to God that everything works out.
Yeah.
And truly enough, every time I'll go, they'll be like, what are you doing in South America? I'm like, I'm playing basketball, but I go one more year in college, I gotta go back finish. I'll come back, do 6 months.
Mm.
So that's how it played out.
So
And
how did
so
you get to play in South America? Was that part of the scholarship or something separate?
no. So when I graduated, I happened to know people played in South America before. You know, I was pretty good when I was in college. You know, that's how I ended up in the Hall of Fame and I'm Player of the Year. You know, I had a lot of accolades in college, so I end up because of that. End up being invited to some basketball camps here in the US, and they scout from South America, and that's how I end up playing in a team in Chile. You know, that's where I end up
Nice.
playing. You know, so yeah, I went to Chile, learned Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish. I can read and
All
write.
right.
So yeah,
Nice.
That's really cool.
Like
yeah. So,
every few sentences, it's like you learn something interesting. Like your journey is just quite entertaining.
well, I've always wanted to be. You know, you gotta be a sponge, right? You gotta be a sponge of the environment. Obviously,
Mhm.
you see everything, you take in everything, and then you gotta make a decision: what's good, what's bad, and you got. And I've always, you know, again, I'm telling you, my journey has always been. Um, and I'd say the better prepared you are, the luckier you get. And I feel that's what I've always been prepared. But you know, I get lucky because if someone says, "Hey," like even those South American teams, they're like, "Hey, we have a guy who can really play." When I went there, it was really he can play. You know, it's not someone saying he can play, and then you get there, he cannot play. And
That's true. Yeah.
That's
you know,
true.
so yeah. So you know, I graduate, I moved my family back home to Kenya. We pack our belongings, and we go back home. You know, so
Oh,
I
honey?
was no, so I moved back. So I'm playing professional. I'm playing from like 2003. So we are 2003 to 2009. We are in Kenya a little bit, in the
Mm.
States a little bit, South America a little bit, then go back to Kenya. Then I'll come to the US, work out, then go to that was the that was the grind. So but 2009, you know, we literally go back home like let's start life and all that. Man, I tried to get a job and you
It's
know, I
hard.
knew some people. I cannot mention the names, but I knew some people in the media, and they,
It's hard.
you
It's
know, like I could do video editing, I could shoot the video, edit graphics, put the voiceover. But in Kenya at that time, there was a person who did the video graphics. There's a person who did the video. There's a person who did the video. So at that time, I was told I was overqualified. I'm like, I don't care. Just give me a job. I
Just
just
give
want
me
a
a
job.
job, yeah. Yeah.
That's what
And
I
you
just
would
want
think
to
it
do.
would be easier when you lived here a little bit and then go back and they'll be grabbing you, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but you also learn. There's also things I think also rub people the wrong way, right? So let's say you tell someone I want to meet at 9 o'clock. That person doesn't
oh,
show until
I
9:40.
know.
Now I've been over here. Now I'm already a little bit angry, and now he's like, "You just went to the US the other day, and now all of a sudden you're US.
That's
You've
true.
forgotten how things work in Kenya."
True story. Time is not our thing.
9 o'clock is
You
10:15.
know,
Yeah.
and then you know, and it's not that. It's just like I planned to see you at 9 o'clock. Then I had someone else I was
I
going to
had
see at
something
ten
else to do.
thirty.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't
so
care about that.
yeah, so yeah. But I understood. I understood, and I got it. You know, I understood. You know, if I'll do it again, I'll do it differently. But you know, again, so again, I'll say that I've always had people. Oh, my light went up. Oh,
Yeah.
I've always I've always had people in my corner. Even my wife, she was like, she looked at me, she was like, "Man, I'm gonna let you grind." So
Mm.
my wife, she left. She was like, "I'm gonna go back in the US. I'm gonna be in the US for 6 months, then I'm gonna come back 6 months."
Is she from,
She,
and you cannot answer, is she from Kenya or is she from the US and you took her back to Kenya?
no, she's from Kenya.
She's
We
from
played on the
Kenya.
same
Okay,
team
so
with
it
her.
wasn't so
Yeah, I
bad
played
of
with it.
a return. Okay.
Yeah, no, I knew her from Kenya. I knew her
Oh,
before.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So she said, "Let me let you work hard and do your
Like
thing
you go
over
and live
here.
your dream.
You
I'm
do
gonna go
you.
6 months. Do
I'ma
you?
be over there.
I'm gonna be over there. I'm gonna come in 6 months." So
Oh
we used to
God.
sell like basketball uniforms, like basketball shoes, you know, just trying to make so she
Mm.
went and came back. She's like, "How's everything going?" She was like, she could tell it was not in a good place. So she was, "Let me take the kids. So now you can really focus on what you're trying to do."
She was so smart.
I know, I was
Yeah,
about to say that, very smart.
she's smart. She's awesome. So she took the kid and waited 6 months. Then 6 months she came back. She was like, "Okay," but what she did not tell me, she came with a ticket. for me.
For you.
Oh yeah, she's
taking
like,
you
I'm
with me
coming to
now.
take you. Yeah, I'm going to take you.
So she
This
came
is all
as also,
cute,
but she
but
was
we
like,
need to
I'm
go
not,
back.
yeah, I'm not leaving you here. There's nothing you're doing here that is. So we went to Kenya in 2009. I came back in 2013.
Oh wow, you actually
Yeah,
stayed for a while.
you did.
Yeah.
You
Did
Oh
you
tried.
yeah,
tried?
yeah,
Yeah.
man. I believe I could make a difference. I believe so.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure you still do, but I'll let you keep sharing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So you came back
Yes.
2013. She's a smart, but we are smart, you know, we plan things. We see things, we plan things, and we make them happen.
I
Yeah,
think
she's a
that,
planner. She's
It's
a
good
planner.
she came back. Some other woman
Yes,
may not have. They'd be
yeah,
like,
that's
and
true.
and the way she did it, it sounds so respectful, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna let
yes,
you,
Yeah.
like she
yeah,
gave you that space to say, hey,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it worked. Is because
yes,
again, if she was not like
Yeah,
exactly.
she was not fighting what I was. She was like,
Yes.
okay, I see what you're trying to do. I
Mm-hmm.
understand it, but it's not working.
but it's
But
for
I'm gonna
Yeah.
you.
let you. Yeah, because I think if she had tried to force me, I think it would have been.
You would
That's
have
true.
Again,
dug
I
in,
say I
yeah.
try to do things the way I see them in my head,
Mm,
and
yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
she understood that, and I think that's why it worked. Is because she understood that, and she was like, "I'm gonna let him do what he's trying
Mm-hmm.
to do,"
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
Sounds like
so
you chose well, Peter.
exactly. And she
uh,
knows she knows you. Yeah.
And she knows
yeah,
what she
We
we've
got
has.
been in the
into the
trenches.
airplane with the kids. She's like, we're not coming back.
I know,
No,
right?
she was like, we're not going back there.
I'll come back and get daddy later, but us,
Yeah, come and get daddy. Yeah, yeah. But I think things have changed that time. There was WhatsApp, there's FaceTime,
yeah,
and there's,
Mm.
things
Yeah.
have
of
changed.
course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
talking to the kids is something
Yeah.
normal, common. It's not like when I
Mm.
left. When I left, I would talk to my mom maybe once a year or twice a year.
Mm. Wow,
Mm.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and then
With
you
a
you
calling
leave
card. Yeah.
with a
Yes.
calling card. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Mm.
We were talking about
Scratching.
it, you know,
I
all
know.
You
those
used to
you
scratch
scratch
it.
it,
Yes.
Yeah, you have
then
to
you do
Know
scratch
the
the
it.
1-800
number.
You dial the
number,
numbers, and
then
you got to talk
the
one
need
time. You
to
can't cut and call again because then your minutes are getting lost.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's been fun. It was fun. Fun times.
So you came back
Wow.
2013.
Yes, I came back 2013. Yes, I came back in
Mm-hmm.
2013, and I really wanted to get into basketball. I thought that was my niche. I thought that's what I knew. That's what I've done for years. That's what I knew. So again, yeah, it's about relationships. Again, who you know, not just what you know, right? People gotta trust you. You gotta believe in what. So there was a coach they had given me basketball kits. So because all this time, so since 2003, I've always done something basketball related in Kenya. Be it taking some t-shirts, being at a tournament, being held like I've always done that. And so even when I went to 2009, there was a group of kids, we had worked together before. We tried to help them and create a team. We worked together to create a team. We created an organization called Friends of Basketball. And, I've always tried to do stuff here because like I'll get uniforms from the US, take them to Kenya and just help the teams like Uko Mashinani, teams which are not, well off and teams which cannot afford some of the resources which are here abundantly. So this coach had given me uniforms before, so I knew him. He lived in Dallas, so UT Dallas. I go talk to him. I'm like, hey, I'm back in the country. I'm just looking for somewhere to volunteer and help and let me understand the game. I have a dream to become a coach. He's like, oh yeah, by all means. Again, that's what I'm saying. Again, people, again, just being in the right places, right, knowing people
Mm.
and being a hard worker and people selling visions and people believing in what they do. I'd already given the basketball kit in Kenya. I'd sent him a picture. He knew what I was doing. I was also involved in basketball, so he knows my heart is in basketball.
Mm.
So yeah, he gives me an opportunity to work as a volunteer coach. So we work 1 year there, and then the other year, when I knew another coach. He's at Angelo State in San Angelo. There's another Kenyan who played for him, so that's how the connection is by the other guy. So I call him. I say, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get into this coaching. Everybody says I have to have a master's to coach. Well, that's what I want to do." He's like, "Come on down. We don't have any resources for you, but again." So I moved my family to San Angelo, Texas, from Dallas.
Wow.
Again, there goes my wife following me. She doesn't know where we are going.
That's
She
not too
just
bad.
believes there's a vision.
Love.
She just believes there's a vision. She
That
just
is
believes
what
there's
they
a
call
vision.
Unquestionable love. Love believes in
She
trust.
stood by me. She stood by me through some, sometimes I'm like, why did you even agree to that? Like, there's no, so again, but San Angelo has been awesome for us. So I come for the first year, I'm paying my school, I'm doing my master's. So my first year again, I'm working hard. I have family. My wife is pregnant. She's going to nursing school. So I'm literally we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. I'm so the good thing about it was when I was in Dallas, I used to do Uber. So when I come to San Angelo, there's not a lot of people doing Uber. I already have the Uber app driver.
Nice.
So if you're in San Angelo, you cannot get it because there's no Uber. There's no
Oh,
Uber
wow.
app in 2014. There's no sign up. It wasn't as big as it is now. Like you can sign up anywhere. Before you used to go to like a hub and they would vet you and you do that. So I had the app. So when I came to San Angelo, so I'm driving Uber. I would wake up in the morning like 5:30, pick up walk out the kids out, walking out them for college. Go to work. I used to do graphic design. Again, that's my background. I did graphic design from 8 to 2. And then at 2 o'clock, I'll go back to Angelo State, do the basketball practice, do the video editing, do all that. Go to class at 6, get out of class at 8, go do Uber from 8 to midnight, sleep, repeat. That was what I was doing.
Oh,
We did
wow.
not know anybody. Yeah, we did not. We did not know anybody in San Angelo. I had a young kid. I had a new kid, and
You
I
have to
was
do
on the
what you
way.
have to do.
We had to grind. It was me and my wife. That's it. We did not know anybody in San Angelo. So, but anyways, again, I work hard again. Working hard does open doors for you. And the school president says, hey, next year we'll take care of your school fees.
Oh,
For my
wow.
Nice.
masters.
Yeah.
Yes. So they pay, and that's how I get my first master's in coaching and administration because I want to become a coach. But things, sometimes things don't work. You think things are not working, but maybe you're being pushed in a certain direction. Just God works in a different way. The coach who I was working for was very successful. The first year, so he's leaving, he's going to Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm like, I can't leave. I already know I grind. I already have my routine. When you're stuck in your routines and you understand things, you're like, do I leave this to something else I don't know? You're like, no, this will work for me. So I stay in San Angelo, and I graduate, finish. I don't get into coaching, but again, things work out differently in life. So I get a job in the city of Fort Worth in recreationals, in Rex. Yes. So again, I'm now my life changes. I'm driving every Monday to Fort Worth and coming back Friday night.
How long
many
is that
hours?
drive?
Yeah.
It's 2 hours. It's like 3.5. But I drive Monday and I don't come back until. So I'm staying with the lady. Remember Charlie?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She has a house in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
She's like, okay, son, whatever works for you, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
So she's been part of my life all along. She's,
Wow.
even if I don't mention her, she's been there like all just by my side. So I'm staying in her house. I commute back and forth during the week, and then I come back Friday night. But anyways, during this time, I'm still doing basketball stuff. I get to work with like Dallas Wings, and I get to hang out with people like Skylar Diggins. I'm doing their youth programs. So I'm still around basketball, even though I'm not basketball stuff. So, but you can only do that. That lasted for like 2 years, and for me, 2 years come by, and then you become antsy with your job, and you try to progress, and it's like you see the ceiling. I've always been very good at understanding where I'm at and where I need to go and what I need to do. I've always been very good at self-analyzation. Like I had someone say she does analytics, so I'm very good at it. I'm very good at that. So
AKA overthinking.
I enjoy that. I play with that a little bit. Sometimes I do. Yeah. So mine is Tableau. I like Tableau. I enjoy Tableau.
Don't start. I love
Tableau.
Tableau.
I mean, I like Tableau. I'm trying to get Power BI is a bit harder for me. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not there yet. But
I'm
Oh, yeah.
sorry, guys. I have to go there. I just started using Power BI, and it's actually not that bad. Actually, it
Yeah.
really isn't.
I
No, I've
enjoy
used
traveling.
Tableau for about 6, 7 years.
Oh yeah, no, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that's when I started. I did it 3 years ago.
Mm.
Yes,
That's my
yes.
jam. Okay, I am going
Yeah,
to back up now.
yeah, yeah. So again, 2 years in, and I'm trying to move up. Then they're like, oh, you don't have any business administration background. So again, I enrolled in school.
Oh.
This America.
Just love
Professional.
schools.
I'm a professional student, so I enrolled in school and I started doing my MBA.
Mm.
So I do my MBA, then I quit my job in Fort Worth, come back home, and at that time, just based on where I was, the oil field was the best solution. So I started working in the oil field.
Interesting.
So yes, I started working in the oil field, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was hard
Oh,
work, but it was one of those, you go there and they give you movies. They actually give you movies so you don't fall asleep. So at night you just watch movies.
where exactly were you in?
It's called Big Lake, so it's like, so I would leave here like 3 a.m. and come back at 9. So I'll
Okay.
do those long hours. Yes, yes, yes. And I was still going to school. So like Tuesday and Thursday I had school, so I'll go to class and I talk to my bosses there in the oil field. So I'll go to class and then leave and then go to the oil field. So I'm
Wow.
still doing my MBA, but when I'm doing my MBA, there is the organization I work for right now. Um, the organization I work for had an influence in the school
Mm.
because they taught some of the classes. So like they taught some of the class like health law.
Mhm.
So when I'm in school, they tell me actually you should do something else. Again, it's meeting people, and they're like, I'm a bit older. At that time I'm 47, 48 maybe. So they're like, you're a bit older. You need to live here with a niche yourself. So just don't do an MBA. If you do 12 more hours, you have a certificate in health administration. And
Mm.
now you're more marketable than anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, again,
Mhm.
I'm like, why not? I'm still in school. What
Mhm.
does it? So
Mm.
I ended up doing that too. So I graduated with my MBA and a certificate in health administration.
Oh,
And
nice.
so but I'm still working in the oil field.
Oh,
Because
But
you
you
like
have
it.
you have the
Yeah, because
degree in your back pocket.
yeah, but this time I have two masters. I have two of
yeah.
them, and my wife is like, "Why did you go to school? Like, why did you go to school?" Again, there goes voice of reason, right? And she knows someone else
Mm.
who was a nurse, and the person gets a job as a practice manager at the organization I work for.
Mm.
Mm.
And that person has met me like a couple of times. We've interacted. She's like, I think your husband would be really good in this position. So my
Mm.
wife is like, you gonna apply? I'm working in the oil fields. I'm like, I'm not applying. So I keep doing that, and like 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 4. So one day I come home and she has the laptop open and she has the job open. She's like, we're gonna apply today.
Your wife
I
is the
love,
best.
I
You
love
know what this story
when she
reminds
said you're
me?
gonna apply, that's like
I
now.
know.
Apply now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This story
Yeah,
reminds me of our second guest.
Oh yes.
yeah.
What can I not think?
I
Oh,
know.
Mohammed.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Mohammed's wife,
Yeah,
his
my,
wife
my,
was
my,
was like that. It's like, no, you're going to do, no, you're going to
This
go and do this,
exactly.
my
and
wife,
you'll be
my wife
fine.
tell me.
And he was
I
fine.
Yeah,
already registered you. You're going.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's
Nice.
she understands when to push and when to not to push it. She
Mhm.
she understands like how I'm thinking, and so she like, I'm gonna let
Mm-hmm.
him try to do his way first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Wise
have a
woman.
solution though.
She's a wise woman.
She's a very
Yeah,
wise woman.
definitely.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So
So
she has a
but
laptop open.
yeah, I applied the job, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get this job. Practice manager in a big organization. I'm like, there's no way. So, but anyways, I go to the interview, and so I interview with the first guy. And he's like, okay, we're going to bring you back. And so I interviewed with the CFO also. The CFO says, actually, we want someone without any background in health administration, someone who understands business, but not necessarily clinical. So they were looking for something like that at that time. And that's how I get my opportunity. It's because they already they had a lot of people who already clinical administrator who are through clinical. So they wanted someone else who had done business. And this time I've worked with Dallas Wings, I've worked with NBA Africa in Kenya, Tanzania, I've done some basketball programs in different countries back home. So I skipped all that, time. I did a whole bunch of like basketball things in Africa, in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda with NBA. So I used to be the host for like the NBA players when they came to Kenya. I'll show them around. Yes.
Well, Peter, how did you not tell us about that part?
I don't know. You told me you had 45
Remember,
minutes.
he asked us, do we have time? He asked
I know.
I told you, do you have time?
That's true. You're right.
Have time, yeah.
Gosh, I feel like we need to sit with you for 2 hours.
And-
But,
I got stories for days. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. My journey has been a blessing.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it.
So now the position, how did that go with you were telling us about the interview and what they were looking for?
So again, Alison, remember I told you I used to do graphics. So the person who interviews me next is the daughter to the person I worked for before.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Stars, man.
That's what I'm telling you.
I can hear you.
You're
Is it
muted.
me?
We've lost your sound.
Yeah. You're muted. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
the daughter.
the daughter is the daughter of my former boss when I was doing the graphics.
Wow.
And she tells me, if my dad says you're a good employee, I'll hire you.
Oh, wow.
And she goes to talk to him, and they give me a call, and that's how I start working. What I'm, as a practice manager in a health organization, and I've been there for 7 years now. 7 years since 2019.
wow.
So I've been there. Yeah.
So what does your job entail? Like, what do you do?
So previously, my other job, I was over 4 urgent care locations. So I was in charge of the day-to-day operations, making sure that everything is running smooth. I support all the doctors, support all the staff. So the staff was directly reporting to me. So I do operations, any strategic planning, any new, like for example, when I started in December 2019, and then as everybody knows, COVID hits 2020 March, right? Yeah. So when all that did, we then the drive to, we tested people, made sure everything was good. We did testing protocols, did all that. So, did everything that it took for us to get people tested and support the community as much as we could. So that was what I was doing for 5 years, but now I'm a director of operations. I do more like the strategic planning. I'm not more into day-to-day operations. I'm more like long-term. Like if the provider needs a new equipment, there's a new service we want to bring into the organization, then we have to do like return on investment. How much patients do we need to see to offset that? That kind of stuff. So that's what I do now. So all along, basketball has been constant. I still do basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, in what capacity are you doing basketball right now?
Sorry?
Right now, in what capacity are you doing basketball?
So I do skills development. I work with kids, but as you see, I don't know if you can see.
Hope
tour.
Okay.
Yes. So this is my give back to the community, give back to the game. I think about life. I owe the game a lot, the game of basketball. So every year I go to Kenya and I do big camps. I travel to different cities, and then I get different kids and I bring them to one city. I bring 100 kids together. We
Wow.
mentor them for like 5 days. So we mentor them, we try to source for like jerseys, shoes, whatever we can get. And so we give every kid a basketball who comes to the camp. So we do that every year in August. I do that. So I've been down. I'm in the 7th year. This is my 7th year doing that. So I do that every
Wow.
year.
Okay, see?
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. It's called the
You
Hope
you
Tour. So,
heard.
Mm.
so really?
Oh, you heard him and you're giving back. That's nice.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you go like, we post once in a while on Instagram. I'm not very good at doing it every day. Again, the chores of
A
life.
lot.
So
We
yeah,
post
but
one of
So
your
you
kids. That's what I
you
do.
can look. Yeah, you can look on it. It's called Hope Tour. But if you follow me on Facebook, I normally sometimes I'll post on my Facebook
Yeah.
page and I'll link something good. If we do something, I will link
Mm-hmm.
it there. But that's what I do right now. So that's what I do and enjoy doing. Um, the game has
Wow.
been kind to me. The game has been kind to me. Yeah, the game
Mm,
has been kind to me, and I believe if someone else is given the same opportunity, I believe they can excel too. So I wasn't special. I worked hard, but I always tell people, if you work hard, and that's why I like the word hope. I don't like even my kids. I tell them, find a way or find an excuse, right? You find a way or find an excuse. That I try to live by
Mm.
that mantra. I try to
mm,
impose on my kids, and I try to tell kids even back home. I'm like, you cannot say I'm not going to practice because I don't have A, B, and C. Like and I don't say that like to make it not sound important. I understand what you're saying. I've been there. I've
mm,
done it. I've been there. I practiced with when we used to have a guy who used to, our basketball shoes would have a hole and he would take a tire, he would cut the tire back, and he would fit the sole, he would give us new soles. So
mhm,
I understand being there, but again, um, you got hope tomorrow's gonna be better. And that's my
mm,
message. You got hope tomorrow's gonna be better than today, right? Day today, when you know hope tomorrow's gonna be better, you believe that you got believes it will be better.
mhm,
Like me, like coaches here don't have that much time. They have maybe 20 seconds to 2 minutes to look at you. If you don't
mm,
within that time, he gone. He's watching 100 kids, so you don't have that much
Yeah.
to say. I'm gonna wait. So yeah, so
Sure.
Wow.
You just,
Mm.
I'm glad you said that because I like to ask our guests to give to drop a few nuggets for the youngings who are listening to us.
Mm.
And I like that. Um,
yeah. You got work. You can't really. You got to control what you can.
Mhm.
Mm,
What can you control, right? Your effort, your demeanor, your
mhm.
the way you approach life. Those are things you can control. You cannot control
mm,
what someone else thinks about you as a person, or as a player, or as a professional. Even at work, right? Even at work, some people you don't get along with them. Right? They don't think you do a good job, but I don't care. That's you. That's
Mhm.
you who
mm,
thinks that.
Exactly.
You think that. You're allowed to think that.
Mhm.
mm,
So those are things we just try to teach, and hopefully I pray that I lead by that example and kids can see that I walk that path. So
Mhm.
yeah. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I do fail, but I try as much as I can to stay
You're
on that
human. Yeah.
on what I believe in. And
mhm.
yeah.
Your kids play basketball?
That's what was.
No, my kids don't play basketball. So
Ah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, my daughter is a nurse. She's doing her thing. Again, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
Oh,
Again,
nice.
remember I left her when she was young, but fast forward, I do move back to Kenya and I get to connect with her. And she comes over to the States and
Oh, good. Mm.
that thing. So super proud of that. It does its tolls. It has its dark session and the absence, and everybody can relate to that. I grew up without a dad, and so there's a
Mm,
lot. When there's a lot, maybe she thinks, and she might not know I know, but there's a lot that I know she thinks, and I can relate. I didn't grow up with a dad, and some of the times I was gone, so I understand. But
mm, yeah.
yeah.
all you can hope that and pray that I do a good job.
Mhm.
You
Uh,
you already
so
are
yeah.
you're stealing our hearts through the internet. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure she is. She feels your spirit.
Mm.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
we good. So my other kid, he plays. He runs truck. He's a
Mm.
freshman in. He's a freshman in college, so he just left the house.
Oh.
Oh,
He's
wow.
a
Empty
freshman in.
nesters.
No. I have a young one. I have a young one running around here. He's a 9, and he never wants to go to sleep. He's already running around. He just turned 10 actually yesterday, so
Oh,
we
wow.
celebrated his 10th birthday yesterday. So he
Oh,
just turned 10.
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
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 That's beautiful. Wow.
So
Yeah.
before we close, we always try to ask, how do you balance um, work-life balance? How do you define that for yourself?
So again, for me, it's been a matter of I've learned a lot of lessons along my way.
Mm.
I've learned very many lessons. Me not being in Kenya when my young daughter was younger,
Mhm.
me not being around when my other son was born, me playing basketball overseas, not being with the family. So I've learned a lot of lessons. Me working the oil field, going 18 hours a day. So I've learned a lot of lessons. So the first thing when I was leaving the oil field, I told myself, it was going to be a huge pay cut anyways, no matter where I went.
Mhm.
But I told myself the first thing I was looking for was a job which I'm going to work Monday through Friday,
Mhm.
8 to 5. It's going to give me 8 to 5, and it's going to give me the flexibility to go to any of my kids' events. That's the first thing I was looking
Yeah.
for. So when I had it very clear in my head what I wanted, and so when I got that, I was able to, that started a different path for me, understanding what was important for me, and things, like me, like my family. I think my sister maybe has watched me play basketball one time.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
My mom may not have so rest in peace. I don't think she watched me apart from maybe what she read on. She was given newspaper clips and stories she had from people tell her what I do, but I don't think she ever watched me play.
Oh, wow.
So again, I didn't grow up having feeling like them not being there. They mean they didn't love me.
Mm, that's right.
I understood she had to grind. She
Mhm.
worked different hard jobs. If I tell you, when I was younger, man, I would walk. I would walk from, I don't know, like, um, almost past Westlands. I would walk all the way to v- like VOK, Nairobi, Hilton, Norfolk Towers. I would walk all that way. She
Mm.
used to have a cow, so there was these people who used to vend amazing. They would do
Sell maize on the
Mahindi.
side. Yeah.
They sell Mahindi on the side,
Yeah,
and we
maize.
used to have these bags, and we'll go by and we'll collect the thing for the
Cob.
maize, not the cob, the
Oh,
the, the
yes.
what are they called?
Mm.
The leaves. Is it the leaves on
What?
Is it
top?
husk?
Not the
Huh?
husk. You know when you shock corn,
Mm.
the
Oh,
The
okay, I
green.
see.
when you remove
Mhm.
the dressing.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. There you go.
The dress.
The clothes.
Yeah. And so we would go through like 5 people, and we would collect them, and we would take them home every day. We used to do that with my
Um,
mom. So I learned about hard work when I was younger, like
mhm.
way. So even when she was not at my game, I didn't feel a certain way. So,
Mm.
but it took me to understand now the kids like my kids. It took me a while to understand that, and so I had to
Mm.
make an effort to be at the games, to support them, to go to the
Mhm.
events. So that was one of the things I wanted to make sure that I was part of. And so
Mhm.
when I started that, I did that. And so obviously then for me it's finding my passion, right? One of my passions is basketball. So I try to watch a basketball game. I enjoy working out. I go to the gym maybe 5 times a week. So I make sure I have, even if it's 30 minutes every day, I go there. And then when I'm home, right? I come in my house, I don't leave. I get in, I'm home till
Mhm.
tomorrow. Sometimes on the weekend, I get in on Friday, I don't leave my house until Monday.
Mhm.
Again, it's just things that, you learn through things, you learn through
Yeah.
life, and you
Mhm.
get to a point where you understand
Mm-hmm.
what you need to do. So, I'm in that point where I'm at peace with what I do and who I am, and I don't really need to answer critics. And there's a time there's a time it was concerning, but
Yeah.
again, my life has been blessed abundantly,
Yeah.
so I
Evolution.
can't really complain. I can't really complain. I have to sit back and count my blessings.
Yeah.
That's
I have to
good.
sit back and count my blessings because
That's
I think
good.
I've been blessed a lot. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
You
gosh,
know.
that time flew by, and we
I
still
know.
have
Yeah.
a few more we need to know. You know that when you were picked up from the sheriff, you know other things, but it's okay. We'll keep those for another day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You
thank
have to
you
come
so
back.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. This was
No.
amazing.
Thank you for taking the
No,
time,
no,
and you
no, I
still have one
appreciate
more hour.
yeah. What?
I said you have at least one more hour. Us, we almost on the other end of that 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. I understand. Yeah, again, I understand. I did this. So I had my own I used to do every Sunday live on Facebook. And I've done this
Um,
for a while. Yeah,
yeah,
I understand.
we're
So
not that brave. We're not doing live yet.
ah, trust me, it's not that hard. Actually, people, when you do the hiccups much better, with all the trial
Right?
and
Yeah,
tribulations.
that's
Yes,
true.
Yes.
yes. People will understand. You're not a
Yeah.
professional. You're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah,
You're
we're just
trying.
having fun,
You're
learning
just
about
having
people's
fun.
lives.
And also sharing important stories. Yeah, right? We can't let people tell our stories. We gotta be able to tell our stories
Exactly
ourselves.
yourself. I
I
agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
agree.
gotta tell them ourselves. We don't have enough. We in I tell people, man, if anybody who's left their country and they can survive outside, I respect that person a lot.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
it.
care.
Right. That's the
I don't
story
care
right
what you're
there.
telling.
Right?
Yeah, I don't care what you're telling me. Oh, they went there for a job. I'm like, but they left everything they know. They left their
Yes.
mom. They left their
Exactly.
dad. They left their siblings. They
Mhm.
left everything they've known. And let's say you're 18. For 18 years, this is what you knew. And now you've
Mhm.
left all that
And you
to
start
something
over.
new,
And
Yeah.
and
you're
you're starting
starting over.
over.
And
Yeah.
you're a
You don't even
child.
know. You don't even
You're a
know.
18,
Yeah.
you're still a
Yeah.
child.
I
Yeah.
came with a backpack and a brown suitcase given by a coach. That's it. I have the suitcase up to now. I show my kids. I tell them that's how I came to the US.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Crazy.
amazing.
Yeah. So, but it's been worth it. It's a journey.
We had
Good.
fun.
Yeah,
I
we
hope you
did.
had
Thank
fun. We try
Yeah.
to have
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Good.
I
Thanks for
appreciate you guys
sharing.
reaching out.
Yeah.
Actually, when I wrote that story, I never thought people read what I post. So even when a lot of people started, even like strangers started commenting, and I was like, where did all these people come from? Because I've always like wrote stuff and posted, and actually I was shocked. It had like 100 and something comments. I'm like,
Oh
who
wow.
are these people commenting on? But it was well deserved. She's been an amazing lady to us, so I felt.
Mm.
Well,
And I
God
think the
bless
reason
her.
I even did that was I went for Thanksgiving. My wife had planned for a surprise for her to come to her Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
And so she came to the Thanksgiving, and then I was like, okay, I see what they did
It
Oh,
was such a
That's
yeah.
amazing.
heartfelt story. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just pulled on my strings at least.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Ah,
thank you so
guys.
much.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yes.
It was so
Yeah.
much fun. Till
Yeah.
next time, guys.
Till
Until
Say
next
next
bye.
time.
time.
I'm collaborating with people.
Hmm.
It in many instances it came off like some people thought I was what's the word? I was like snobbish. I don't know. I wasn't very
Mm.
interactive. I'm more
Hmm.
myself. I'm not
Mm.
a team
You
player.
keep
And
yourself.
again, we've come from a culture where you do things on your own.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's how we were measured. You just you
Uh-huh.
delivered on your own,
Mm.
or at least work, or at least in the nonprofit world, you have your task to do on your own. There was very little collaboration in my, where I came from. Then he has a lot of collaboration, so that was
Hmm.
very
Different.
different for me and difficult. Then I'm introverted, and
Mm.
and it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. Right?
And that's a good
Uh,
point to bring up because
yeah, it wasn't
home,
easy.
they're not really trained how to be team players unless it's a sport
Right.
or one of those
Hmm.
things. But in a
Right.
work environment, it's like, let me see your work, let me see what you produce. That's how good you are, which it's a very good point.